Hey, girl. Hey.
Oh, that's how you come in with the blonde, with the flares, with the bang, with the ooh, with the whoop, with the whoop.
With the woo wop.
That's how you come in?
That's how you come in. Look at you.
Okay. Hey, girl.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I haven't seen your face in real time in so long, girl.
I've known you forever. It's actually
I
kind of
know.
crazy how
I know,
long
right?
we've known each other.
Literally.
That's crazy.
Like, I don't remember. No, I know it was many, many moons when we met, but I feel like the first time we worked together was it on your project? Was it something like called something about California? Something.
We worked.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. We worked, and I feel like I'm trying to remember who even produced that.
Right, because it was a good record. Like, where can I find it? Is it?
I don't know if it was Frank or Justin that produced it. It was either one. I think it was.
I feel like it was Justin.
That was a while ago. Thank you, Mom. My mom talking about your hair is so pretty.
It is. Thank you, Mom. It's bomb. It's giving.
Thank you, girl.
You be doing your own hair and things, huh?
You know I do. Child.
Like, we does it all, baby. Hair, makeup, styling, creative direction.
All of it.
All of the above. Right. Right. Oh, what you sipping? Okay, cheers, bitch. Cheers, cha-ching.
Cheers. This is some tequila and lemonade and simply lemonade.
I like your style.
Just a little something.
Right. Just a little snap.
Little one two.
Yes, well, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. This is my new little series that I'm doing on Instagram, really just to highlight women in music and entertainment. We want to give you your flowers and just girl power. Just
right.
Girl power. So
I love it.
That's what it's giving, and I'm so glad that you joined us today. Can you please do me a favor and tell the people who you are and where you're from?
So my name is Zyah Belle. I am a singer-songwriter, and I am from the Bay Area, from Vallejo, California.
Yay! Period. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome. Well, I've been knowing you forever and ever, but there are some little tidbits that I love to know, like, how did you get your start in music, and like what made you even like, how did you know like this is my thing, like this is my forever thing, this is what I want to do? When, at what age, when was that moment?
Well, I started originally like at least singing at a really young age because my mom is a choir director, so that kind of like wasn't much of a choice. So I started singing in church like a lot of people, and then the turning point for me to really know that I wanted to do music was in high school. My sophomore year, I got casted as Dorothy in The Wiz, and that was my first time singing solo in front of people. And I had so much anxiety before that about singing by myself outside of a choir. And just from that moment on, I'm like, okay, I really like this. And then after that, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. Ultimately, I knew music was gonna be my career path.
Right. Was it like the crowd? Was it their energy? Was it like what was it like when you went on stage? Because you say you did a show, right? And then that's when you knew. What was it about that performance? Was it like just you being on stage? Was it the crowd? Was it the audience? Was it just, the all around energy? What was it, girl?
It was definitely the all around energy. Like I felt the most exhilarated on stage. And I felt like, I don't know, I definitely felt on the spot in performance, which a lot of people like have anxiety about that with all eyes on them. But I don't know, for some reason in performances, I just kind of like, when I'm in it, I'll tune people out. And then outside of that, I feel like that's when I'm most in control of my life, is when I'm singing. And so that felt beautiful to experience people's reactions to me as well. It was incredibly affirming, especially as a teenager. You have so much anxieties and insecurities as a teenager. So that was the most affirming experience I ever had. And I'm like, I want more of that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Girl, I know how it is. You know I know, girl.
I know you know. Listen,
Girl,
with your
yes, those
talented self.
nerves is something else, honey. But it's like when you get on stage, it's just like, I ain't no pussy ass bitch. I ain't about to go out on this stage. I'm about to show y'all what it is.
It's a rush. It's
For
a
sure.
rush.
For sure.
I love it so much. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Speaking of, how was your show last night, girl?
It was great. I got to perform songs off my EP, and I felt so comfortable in the crowd, and like it was amazing. And I got to have like my closest friends there, so it was just like it was a full circle moment too. So I was just soaking it all in.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. That's
Yeah.
so. What was it? What city?
It was at an art show. It was at a gallery in WeHo called Momenti.
Okay.
It was a beautiful event. It was amazing. A lot of beautiful art and musicians. So it was an all around vibe.
Very cool. I saw
Yeah.
at the last minute you had like some production issues that you worked out like queens do. So how was that?
Yes.
Like, you know,
Ooh,
shit
it
falls
was,
to the wayside at the last minute and you gotta adapt, baby. Did you adapt or did my
man,
girl adapt?
it was a lot because the day before the show, literally as I'm landing in LA, my guitarist had to cancel because he had got COVID, which that's out of his control. Like there's nothing he could do.
Right.
So I'm like, shit. So I had to book another musician, wasn't able to sound check with him or rehearse with him, and had to rehearse on the spot literally 5 minutes before we went up. And then when it was time for us to go up, then it was like technical difficulties. And I'm like, okay. And the keyboard that was there originally, I guess like somebody spilled a drink on it. And so the keyboard shorted out. But luckily the keyboardist that I was with had like a little mini practice keyboard. That's really what all is for.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, we're just going to do the show on that. So we did the show on this little practice keyboard, but he played down. Like Trey is one of the most amazing musicians ever and incredibly professional. And just like, he's like, all right, let's go, you know? And that's the thing is like when you are around people that are like sure of themselves and sure of their craft, you can have that comfortability to go on stage and perform with somebody that you've never performed with because there's just no egos and everybody is just enjoying themselves and confident. Yeah, like he's like, I know I'm a deliverer. I know your shit. So yeah, let's do it. And it was amazing. And it's like, well, if this is what we do with this little setup, imagine, you know, that was like a little taste. So that was great.
That's that black girl magic, baby. You know we gonna make a motherfucking Thanksgiving feast out of chitlins and motherfucking cornmeal.
We gonna make it work.
Okay?
We gonna make it work either way. And that was the thing. It's like, you know, at the end of the day, I want to sing. I want to sing for y'all. So we gonna figure something out.
Right.
And we did. Child, and we did. Performance. So it was great. It was amazing. And even with the difficulties and us persevering through it, it happened exactly the way it was supposed to happen. So
right.
Yeah, I'm satisfied.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So happy for you.
Thank you.
So, next question is just like, where did your stage name Zyah Belle come from? Do you have like a really cool your grandmama and them? Like, what's
not my grandmama and them. My origin story is not that like great, but so my middle name is Zykia, and I've always loved that name, but I didn't want to go by it, and so and I didn't want to go by my first name. So my first name is Shayna. Everybody that's my family and friends, they'll either call me Zy or Shayna. And I'm like, I don't want to go by Shayna. Also, I was working in the educational field and all of that. And I'm like, I don't want my kids to be able to look me up. And so I took the first half of the pronunciation of Zykia, and I basically put it with the word Selah. And that's like, whenever God blesses me with a daughter and I ain't in a rush, I really want to name her Selah. but that's one of my favorite words out of the Bible, and it means to reflect.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when something was really,
S-E-L-A.
yes, Selah. And when something that was said that was really poetic or wise or whatever that somebody wanted to linger on, they would say Selah, and you would take a moment to actually think about what was said. And so I had come up with a few variations of how to put those two words together, and I literally posted it on Facebook and asked people to vote, and Zyah was the #1 pick. And then I took French in high school. Barely remember a lot of it, but Belle means beautiful, and
Right.
she is
And
that.
that's
So
it. Period.
that she
Okay.
is.
So that was
So
easy.
I was like, all right, we're gonna do Zyah Belle. And so
No brainer.
that's literally where it came from.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love it. Awesome.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
girl. So let's talk about your new accomplishments, baby girl. Where your glass at, sis? Where your motherfucking at? Cheers. Clink, clink. Okay. Because my girl just got signed.
Yes. Yes. Look. Yes.
Talk about it. Like, how, I mean, girl, like, as an artist, because I know you've been grinding for so fucking long, and it's just like, ooh, child, when them opportunities be hitting, don't they be hitting, though?
They really do.
What is that feeling like? How gratifying? I mean, just, I don't know if it's gratifying or not. I don't want to put the words in your mouth, but how does that feel? And then also, how did you know that this was the home for you? This would be the record company that you would, sign with?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it feels amazing to have a company, have a team that says, we believe in what you're doing and we want to invest in that. And that means a lot because I've been investing in my own career for going on 11 years now. And so to have somebody else put some money behind you and put some equity behind you, it's like, okay, you actually really fuck with me. All right,
Right.
And what really made me know that they did actually fuck with me was just the terms and conditions of my contract and the way that they went about it. For one, of course, as everybody says, have a legal team, but also have a legal team that understands what it is that you want. And for me as an artist, I wanted to be able to have that creative freedom because I'm beyond being a singer. I love creating content. I love directing things and all of that stuff. And I wanted to make sure that my voice wouldn't get lost in whatever they saw me as. Right. And they pretty much were like, we like you. Whatever it is that you do, we want to be able to take what you do and amplify it. And that's all that I have been wanting. On top of that, the consistency and readiness, because a lot of times artists don't know about whenever you do sign a deal, making sure that you have a clause that makes them have to put your music out by a certain date. And I had already let them know, oh, this project is coming out and this is when it's coming out. And they're like, okay, well, let's go. And, other labels will try to tell you, no, we're going to sit you down. We're going to do this because they're moving on another artist or whatever. And they were just ready to go with what I wanted. And I'm like, oh, okay, there's compromise here. There's trust here. There's honesty here. So this feels like a good fit. And it has been. I'm blessed enough to have a team on my label side that is very trusting and actually believes in me and shows up. They were at the performance last night representing like the people that could. And so it's been amazing to have that support.
And then they're like showing and proving. Like we're seeing the fruits on your end, and also like what the team is bringing to the table. And I love that so much for you.
Yes, it's been great.
Yeah, that's what's up. So your album, Who's Listening Anyway, which we love, we're rooting for you. I'm rooting for you.
We're rooting for you.
Oh, rooting for you, okay?
Right, period.
So, how did you come up with the title for that? What was the inspiration behind the music? So, how did you come up with the title? Two-part question.
Yeah.
And also, like, specifically, just for like artists, to help artists, like, where was your inspiration drawn from?
Well, the title came from my best friend AJ, who's also she's on track 3 too on SOS. She's an
Okay.
artist as well, super talented. And you know, you got your group chat with your best friends, and they knew what I was going through as far as like really being frustrated with all the things that were happening and not happening, you know, because certain shit had to fall through before I could even get to this
Mm-hmm.
opportunity. And so originally I was gonna call the EP "Fuck This, I Quit" because I dead ass was like, I'm irritated with everybody in this shit. Y'all, I felt like everybody had me fucked up, basically. And I said that, and AJ was like, oh, she was like, I like that. Like, who's listening anyways? I'm like, yo, that's it. Like,
That's
that's
the
it.
one.
That's the title. Because you know, that feeling of like, damn, I feel like y'all overlooking me. I feel like y'all not seeing me. Or even when somebody says that they see you, but then they don't follow through with what it is that they say they're going to do for you, you can still feel like you don't really hear me for real. You don't see the gift in me. You don't see the talent in me. And so that title came, and I'm like, yo, like, that's it. I was like, you're a genius. This is what we're calling it. And from there, we went on and entitled it that. And I've been blessed enough to have my best friends be a part of the creative team as well for this whole project. And the inspiration behind it all is interesting because part of the music was made like when we were on lockdown in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And I luckily enough was able to buy a mic and an interface before shit really got like super weird. And so
Right.
I just started recording myself. I would be on live on IG live a lot, like at 1, 2 in the morning, and would be recording and just kind of vibing to different beats that I was sent. So a lot of that inspiration came from it just being me and my mic in my small ass studio.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of that, really just allowing myself to be creatively free, and finally make music without trying to do what I think people want me to do, and just enjoy the process before releasing. And so that's been, this whole project has kind of been like a big fuck you, in the sense of like, I don't give a fuck no more. Like, this
Right.
is me. This is what I want to do. And if you fuck with it, that's amazing. And I mean, having that energy, that careless energy, I guess it's worked in my return because people are fucking with it. Like, people are listening. So
Right.
it's been amazing.
Right. Yeah, that's what's up. I'm sorry to keep saying that's what's up, but just from an artist standpoint, for
Yeah.
two reasons. From an artist standpoint, like I feel everything that you're saying, and also because, bitch, I know you. I know you.
Yeah.
I watched you
Listen,
your
no,
growth.
you
So
know.
I'm just like, that's
I
what's up.
think I think we probably met each other in like, it had to be like 2013.
I
It had to
think
be
it was
like
before that.
2012.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I think
actually it was before that. It had to be like 2011, 2012.
yeah, it was 2011. I'm pretty sure. Like
It was
so,
actually.
sis,
Yeah.
I've been watching your whole growth, and I'm just like inspired,
Yeah.
truly.
Thank you. It's been a
So
while.
yeah, yeah, I love it. I love it. Speaking of you, like feeling like fuck this shit and who's listening anyway. Let's talk about like doubting yourself as an artist, right? Because I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. And like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
often we have writer's blocks and or we're just like totally doubting ourselves. How do you overcome self-doubt and like, right? Or even, okay, two-part question again. How do you overcome self-doubt? And then
Yeah.
second, when you have writer's block, where do you get inspiration from? How do you overcome a writer's block?
Yeah. Um, Overcoming self-doubt is a combination of things for me. For one, I typically speak to the things that I'm feeling. I often express myself with my friends and try to let them know what I'm thinking, and what I'm feeling, because my friends always affirm me. At the end of the day, like in moments where you can't really see yourself and all your talents and gifts, when you have friends around you and loved ones around you, they act as a mirror to remind you who you really are. So a lot of my self-doubt, I'm able to be reminded of who I am because my friends, they pump me the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like the people that love me are like, no, bitch, you are da 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 da. And even when I'm like, okay,
Right,
like, you know, not really feeling it, they fuck with me at times when I'm not fucking with myself for real, you know? And so that shit is helpful because I don't always have the fucking answers. I don't.
right.
Outside of that, I could say that I do my best to speak positively to myself. A lot of self-doubt comes from lies. It comes from lies or it comes from comparisons. And so I do my best to speak, in opposition to those things to myself, whether it's literally speaking out loud to myself, praying daily, and just honestly being in gratitude, being thankful for what I have and who I am helps me affirm where I want to go. So it's a combination of things, in the same way that they say, like, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village your entire life,
Right.
to keep you.
Right.
And then as far as my writer's block, the best thing that I do is I give myself permission, and meaning that whenever I have writer's block, that means I probably need to sit down somewhere and I probably just need to live life. It means I'm probably doubting myself or comparing myself, or when I come into a situation, I'm like, oh, I got to make some dope. Like, why are you putting that much pressure on something that's supposed to be free? So whenever I have writer's block, I stop. I don't force it. I could start recording and be recording for an hour or recording for 5 hours, an hour long. I could be like, okay, well, this is all I got. I feel like I'm forcing it. All right, bye. And I don't judge that. I trust myself. The creativity is going to come. Like, when you're an artist, It's going to come. If it's not coming on Wednesday, it might come on Thursday, or a month from now. Maybe it's just time that you live and get some shit to write about. So I do my best to just give myself permission to just live my fucking life. Everything doesn't have to be about creating a hit. Like, do you actually even fuck with what you're doing right now? Like, I have to remind myself that my creativity was for me first before I ever decided to release music to people. My intimacy with music was my intimacy with music. And so I deserve to enjoy that in the process, because you're not gonna force sex. You know what I mean? If you're not feeling somebody, you're not gonna force it. So anything, like everything that I'm intimate with in my life, I don't force it. So that's always my advice, that like, if you get writer's block, leave it alone. Go live, go somewhere, get out the house, or, whatever. So yeah, that's the method to my madness.
Right. Yeah. Love the analogy, like, girl, if your coochie don't get wet, then that ain't the dick for you.
Listen,
what's
so crazy?
Today ain't the day. You gotta come
maybe it's not the day.
On the weekend.
Maybe you really not feeling it. I was told this by an old musician, Bobby G, who used to he played guitar for Prince back in the day. Okay. And he told me he was like, excuse me, but this advice I'm about to tell you it'll help you. He said, when you do music, when you perform, it needs to be like you're making love, right? You're not gonna force it. It don't need to be too fast. It don't need to be too slow. It need to be just right. So do what feels right. And if it don't feel right, then you don't need to be doing it. That's what I do. That's what I do with my music. I enjoy myself. And then it's a privilege for people to experience my music when I decide to release it. But I don't allow myself to be up for judgment just because people are consuming my art. Like, I could decide to release it or not, but this is my shit. So that's where I'm at with it.
I really feel that. Thank you. Because I needed that. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a little gem for sure.
It's helped me be proud of my shit. Like, I'm proud of my shit if I post it and I get 10 likes, or I get 100 or 1,000, because I'm like, I fuck with that. Right. Like, I fuck with it, and eventually more people are gonna fuck with it or not, whatever. Like, it has to be about your experience first.
Right.
And I feel like people can sense that shit, and that attracts people to listen to you, actually, because they can sense the authenticity.
For sure.
That's what everybody wants, to feel free. And as much as people say they don't give a fuck, everybody gives a fuck. So you just gotta act like I give a fuck all the time.
Right. Right. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts. Fucking gems, y'all.
You good.
So speaking of Brown, well, not speaking of Brown, why I throw him in the pot? He didn't deserve it. You know, like, he did not deserve that. Okay. My next question is, how do you navigate in a male-dominated industry? I did not have to throw Bobby in there. He did not deserve it. I'm sorry, Bobby.
The way that I navigate a male-dominated industry is I keep a lot of women around me.
Okay.
I do.
Right.
Like, one thing, I remember one time I went to a session, and it was like a writing camp for Sony, and I was the only female writer there. And I called my best friend, and I was like, you need to pull up. We need more pussy here.
Right.
There's not enough. And that's typically how I have my safety net. I'll say that's one way that I do that, is I keep my girls with me. I'm a girl's girl. I'm not one of those girls that's like, I don't really fuck with women. Like, I fuck with us. I think we're amazing. We are it. And so I fuck with women. I'd rather be around women than be around men. And so if I'm in those spaces where I feel uncomfortable, or which typically I feel uncomfortable in male dominated spaces, so I keep more women. Outside of that, honestly, I feel like a part of navigating it, for some reason, in some sense, and I hate this, but I definitely tone a part of my sensuality down. I don't know why, but I do know why. It's because typically, once you're sexualized, men don't take you seriously. Period. It's like, first of all, you're already invisible in the studio, typically, because they're gonna walk by you and assume that you somebody girlfriend or somebody bitch. So they're not gonna say hi to you.
Or just
so there's that.
Rat bitch in the studio. There's
that. I'll be honest, a lot of times I dress in my normal, like, day to day. I'm such a Libra. I'm either this or that. So I'm either very, like, face done but dressed down with some, like, sneakers and a sweatsuit, or dressed up. Like, if I'm dressed up, I'm up. My titties out. Everything is boom, boom, boom. Like, I'm either or. But when I'm in the studio, I'm typically dressed down and very androgynous, I guess you can say, because I'm not my gender right now. That doesn't matter. I'm who I am right now. And it's like, you almost have to navigate in such a simple-minded ass industry. And I'm sorry, man, as much as I love y'all species can be very fucking simple-minded. And it's like, they won't take you seriously, or they won't look at you, or they'll honestly, unfortunately, turn to disrespect before, and I mean disrespect in the sense of sexualizing you. I take that as disrespect when I'm trying to work with a producer and you start flirting with me. That's disrespectful. Because first of all, why do you think that I'm attracted to you?
If I'm rapping about fucking, even if I'm rapping about, or excuse me, I'm talking about rap. See, exactly. Rapping about my coochie, why do you think that means that I want you with it?
It's not about you. So unfortunately, a lot of times I am playing down my feminine in male dominated spaces, because it's like a defense mechanism.
Yeah,
it is. And that's a lot of times how I navigate, also, so I could feel safe. Because sometimes I just don't. It's like when you could tell everybody looking at your fucking body, like you on display. And the studio is such an intimate space, which is actually why I typically record myself. That whole project, I recorded every single song except for Say My Name, and fuck that. Outside of that, I recorded.
You engineered yourself, or period.
I
Say
typically
that.
record
We
myself.
need those tidbits. Come give us the good shit in the interview. Yes, you. What
Yeah.
else you do? What else you do? The
I
hair.
typically
Come on,
engineer
tell us what you
myself.
did. What you
I
did.
engineer myself at this point, typically
Yes.
because my artistry is intimate. And so when I do have those spaces, yeah, I typically dress down. And also, I'm very firm on my boundaries in this industry. Um, I just don't tolerate the disrespect. I don't tolerate, like I said, a lot of times as a woman in this industry, you'll try to literally just work with somebody and they start flirting with you. They start sexualizing you. I do not work with those people.
Right.
I don't. The
Right.
moment you do that, you're telling me that you don't respect me. You're
Right.
telling me that you see me as an object. So that's also how I navigate this industry, is by having very clear boundaries.
Right.
Because this is my baby. My gift is my baby. You're not finna disrespect that. And so there's a lot that you end up having to do to protect yourself in this industry. And that's probably my number one thing, is I work with people who respect me as a woman and as a
Yeah.
person first, and they
Right.
see me as an artist. And anything outside of that, not fucking with you.
For sure. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, to piggyback off of you saying that you always have your girls around, I love that. How do you think that us as women, or women in the music industry, how can we be more supportive of one another? Like, what are some ways that we could just be like, hey, sis, I feel like I wouldn't just, because I don't like how they just put this jacket on us like it's beef on beef with the women, just period, in any industry, because that's not the facts. But the facts are that we could support each other more than we do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I think the removal of ego is going to be the biggest thing. You know, the woman next to you is not your competition, because no one could ever be with you, be you.
Right.
Nobody can ever compare to you. You are you are you. You've already, my mom always says, don't ever try to be somebody else, because you've already been taken. Like, who you are has already been created and taken. If
Right.
you, I think the more that women remove ego and be more confident in the gift that God has given them, they can be so firm in that I can support you. That's not a problem. It's not a problem for me to share your shit or to tell somebody about you, because for one, every blessing is not my blessing. All my blessings are created meticulously for me. So I don't have a problem ever speaking of somebody's name in a room in a positive light when they're not present, because what's for you is incredibly for you, and what's for me is always going to come to me. But that comes from confidence and assurance in who you are as a person. And I think that whenever that ego is preyed upon, and also when you're not surrounding yourself with that feminine energy, and women around you who are also confident, you can really allow, sorry man, male egos in this industry to pump you up about being the first lady and and now you like,
Queen.
I'm the one. I'm
Yeah.
the one. And it's like, okay, you are the one, but there's that one, and there's that one, and there's that one. And we all could be the one, you know? So it's a confidence thing. It's really a personal problem when people have when people don't have the capacity to support other people. It's because they're not confident in who they are. They don't have faith in themselves. So they think, well, I have to compete. I have to bring this other woman down because I'm not confident in what God has for me. And I pray they get some faith, because I love sharing what other women do, because we're really the shit like that, you know? Like, I love being able to connect people or whatever. It's not gonna make me no never mind if I connect you with such and such, like, oh, now I ain't gonna get no blessing because you got blessed. That just shows a lack of faith. And I don't move like that. So yeah.
Yeah, let's work on, ladies, let's work on the pick me, why her and not me ass attitude. Because like you said, it literally is an issue of ego and insecurity. Period.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing more to it. There's nothing. That's the beginning. And so
that is the beginning and end, because you know what? We can say, why her, not me. And it could be, it was her because this is not for you.
Period.
But when you're confident and you know, like, I'm going to be blessed, I'm a blessed person, you can know that every no does not it doesn't invalidate you just being told no. It doesn't it was just a no. Keep going and you'll get your yes. That's it.
Like
That's
you said,
all it is.
What's for you is for you, baby. Can't nobody take it away from you.
Ever.
And you light on another woman is not going to dim yours. So
ever.
Cut it out.
In my opinion, it increases your light. I think people forget, like, if you just got a spotlight, right? If there's just one spotlight right now and me and you are both fighting for this spotlight, that's just one damn light. But if you got a light and I got a light and she got a light and we're all affirming each other, we can light up the whole fucking room. But everybody's trying to have one damn spotlight. Right. I'm trying to get it lit. I'm trying to have it be lit. I'm trying to be at the table and I see all familiar faces. I don't just want to be the only one at the table.
Right.
That's crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's kind of my goal here with Fem Creatives Link Up, is to, baby, put the spotlight on you, because I see you, I see what you're doing, and I'm inspired by it, and I want to inspire other women and men, non-binary. I want us to inspire the world. So so that's definitely, thank you for saying that. Thank you for being here, sis. Period. Thank you for supporting me and supporting you.
Thank you for doing this, because this is what it's all about. You know what I mean? When you decide that, man, other people inspire me, and it takes a lack of ego to be able to say, sis, you inspire me. But sometimes people even feel so in their ego that they can't even tell other women, you inspire me. I'm for sure always a girl, where you get that wig, where you get them lashes, where you get that, because that's cute. I like that. I don't like the whole, when women don't put other women up on where they got their clothes, I don't trust them. Right. I don't trust them. Why you can't tell me, sis? You think I'm a rockin' better than you?
I got this for Christmas 2012. Bitch, you know where the fuck you got that? What do the tags
you got that shit? Don't do me like that.
Say, bitch?
Listen, I'd be happy to share. I'd be like, girl, I got this from this was on sale. I got this. Like, that's the energy I like, because that shit is that's how we all win.
For real. Hell yeah. So speaking in support of women, who are you currently listening to? Who you playing? My second question, just so you don't, mix these two, is gonna be like, who inspires you in general as an artist. So don't get that confused with the now. Like, I want to know who you slapping right now.
Oh, right now. As far as female artists, I'm definitely listening to Summer Walker's album. Okay. I love her album. Outside of her, I do listen to a lot of old school artists. I'm always gonna be listening to some Jill Scott. I'm always gonna be listening to, Erica. I love Ari Lennox, so I'm listening to Ari Lennox. I'm listening to Jasmine Sullivan. All the R&B girls I'm listening to. Those are my faves. Ambre, I love her so much.
I don't know Ambre.
You should definitely listen to them.
Okay.
I'll send you some of their stuff. And then outside of that, my influences, of course, I named a few. So definitely Jill, definitely Erica.
We hear all that. We hear it. It's given, boo. It's given.
I'm listening to Jill. I'm listening to Erica. A lot of gospel. So, I grew up on Kirk and Hezekiah Walker and all these, and, rap, Missy Elliott, Lil' Kim, Mary J. Blige is one of my big influences as well. So that I got quite a few, because I got a mix in there of being like a church kid and then also like sneaking and listening to the R&B and listening to the old school. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you gave me some little hints, because like, I probably got like 3 or 4 more questions for you, and then we're gonna play finish that line. So I'm glad you gave me some people because I'm about to. Oh, you like Jill Scott? Okay, let me see if you know this one.
Oh, girl, all right.
Okay, but before we get into that, what's next for Zyah Belle? I mean, we know that you just dropped your awesome project. You just dropped that awesome video where your girl is looking like boom, boom, pam, wham, wham. Thank you, Pam. Okay.
Period.
So what's next, girlfriend?
Man, honestly, I'm going to continue to be releasing some amazing content. That's one of my favorite things about music is being able to bring it to life visually. So, of course, more visuals are on the way. Setting up some performances in the future and really just allowing my music to just flourish and just see what happens. I'm not rushing anything. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't wait for what's next. I'm like, damn, I just dropped.
All right.
So
right.
I'm like, shit, listen to this shit, you know? So I want to nurture this baby and just continue to love on that and speak life into that. And yeah, that's the plan.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Take your time. Don't rush. Sit, don't say my name. Let it do
Period.
what it's gonna do. It's already doing, baby.
It's already and that's the thing. It's like you gotta let the shit grow, you know? Right. So that's where I'm at with it is, you know, it's been released and so now I want to just continue to nurture it.
Right.
Period.
I just love this for you. Like truly, truly, truly. Like I just love it for you. I'm sorry.
Thank
like y'all
you.
don't know. Y'all
no, they don't know.
Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know what I'm saying because y'all don't know what I know. Y'all don't know like I know. Okay.
No, they don't know. You was there. You was there when I was like 19, literally. And I was literally performing in 21 and up clubs, and then happened to leave.
Literally. Okay, so I'm just like you and so many of my friends, so many people that I know personally are like achieving and succeeding, and I'm so proud of y'all, and y'all are such an inspiration to me. So just please keep doing what you're doing because when you obviously now you know that motherfuckers is watching, but I know there was a point, like you said, who's listening? You know, so it's just like, baby, we are listening. Like I said, we are rooting. You can see, baby, numbers don't lie, okay? Baby girl was on the charts. Baby girl was on the charts, okay?
Period. People are listening.
Okay.
Yes.
So with that being said, you know, you're such an inspiration to me. I know you're such an inspiration to so many other people. People are tuning in. People are showing you love. I just want to say real quick, because I know we haven't been able to say hi to y'all. Thank y'all so much for being up in here. Yay. Thank y'all for supporting Zyah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know she appreciates it so much. I'm going to let her speak stuff, but I just want to say thank y'all for supporting my girl, okay?
Yes. No, I appreciate it too. I've been seeing people flow in and out, and it's beautiful to see everybody come through. So thank you guys. This has been great.
Right. Yeah, so I was segueing into any advice that you have or any tips that you have for upcoming artists.
Ooh, okay. I think my biggest, it'll probably be a two-part. One part would be, and it's going to be the hardest part, is to be patient. It's the hardest thing. Dang. But with being in the industry as long as I've been, I can honestly say in those times where I felt so impatient and I felt like I need to be signed right now. People, why am I not getting this? I thank God that I did not get signed at that moment. I thank God that I did not have that many fans at that moment because honestly, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And there was a certain amount of development that was going to happen to me business-wise. There was a certain development that was going to happen to me image-wise, mentally and spiritually, and even vocally, even musically, that as long as it's taken, I can say that everything that I've gotten has been on time. So just do your best to enjoy the process. That's hard. It's very frustrating, but enjoy the process. And secondly, I would say give yourself permission to enjoy your artistry before you release it. Don't start thinking, oh my God, I don't know if people gonna like this. It's not about them. Just put it out. As you get too many opinions on your shit, you start doubting yourself, or somebody say, oh, this is not a hit. And I've seen a lot of old stories too about the power of trusting yourself. And I'll say one little story with that is back in the day, Luther Vandross presented his label Never Too Much. His label told him it was not going to be a hit. Never too much.
Never too much, baby.
Never too much. They said it was not going to be a hit. No. The label put no money into the success of that song.
When it dropped?
When it dropped, he funded the release of his single, because he said, you know what? No, I fuck with this. I fuck with me. I'm putting it out. Never Too Much is one of Luther Vandross's top songs. Yes.
Do you see how people will hate on you and tell you? Do you see the little devil that'll come right here up on the left like that, lying? That's crazy. Never too much.
Never too much.
Mama, ain't Never Too Much your favorite song? Mama, ain't Never Too Much your favorite song by Luther Vandross? Period. Yeah.
And that's literally, and that has been one of the best things that has stuck with me, is to fuck with yourself first and enjoy what you do and do that shit. The moment you start doubting it, that's probably when you need to let that shit go. Don't keep your music, tightened up for too long, and then now you start overthinking it. Oh my God, well, somebody just released this. I think maybe I should sound like that because people is liking that. Release that shit. It's about what you fuck with. And when you fuck with what you do, you put more into it. So that is probably the two-part advice that I would give artists, is to honestly be patient and to enjoy that process and fuck with yourself in the midst of that process. It's only going to be a great return when you do that.
Because it's what? Never too much is just enough, baby. So stick with it. Fuck the haters.
Period.
Fuck them outside voices, okay?
Period.
It's all up in here. Never too much.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Period. No, for real. That was a great fucking story. Like, I actually knew that. I never knew that. That's crazy. Bitch,
I honestly, I love hearing about it. I love hearing about these stories behind these artists, their journeys. And I've learned a lot about different legends and their journeys. And I'm like, oh, wow. And I'm sitting over here thinking that what I'm facing is singular, and it's happened so much to other artists. So if Luther Vandross has experienced people listening to his music and saying that's not it. I mean, even in most recent times, Capella Gray, you know who that is, right?
I do.
Capella, I don't know if y'all remember, during the quarantine times, he was playing his music on Clubhouse. And he was in this A&R room on Clubhouse. And he played that song that literally is a hit right now, that got him signed right now. He played that song, and they told him it felt unfinished. It wasn't that great of a song. He put it out anyway. And look where he's at. So it's power in...
Tell you anything. It don't matter who it is. It don't matter if it's the top of the motherfucking top. Okay?
Yeah.
You know how many great films have been pushed to the side by huge networks only to get a big break later on down the line for more money and even better opportunity? It's okay. A no is not a no, like you were saying earlier.
Exactly.
This was not for you. It wasn't your timing, baby. So again, be patient, like my sis said.
Yeah. That's major key.
Major key,
What's
y'all.
up, Jane? Jane is in here.
Hey, Jane. Girl, thank you so much. So look, I know you be singing and stuff. And you say you got an old soul, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see what you know.
Oh, I'm nervous, child.
We got to get into some things. We gonna get into some things.
I'm nervous.
Things. Okay. Let me see. And you better be on point too. You better sing.
Promise I'll be. I don't know the whole lyrics to this. This is Share My World. Share my world. I'm not gonna know I know I'm gonna get it wrong right now.
You got to Share My World.
I'm gonna get it wrong. That's
Take
Share My
shot.
World though. But I
Take
can tell you
shot.
right now, Share My World is one of them songs where I'll
not
sing.
named that. The name of the game is not named that tune. It's finish those lyrics.
I can tell you right now with Share My World, specifically that song, I'm gonna sing probably every other bar. I don't know the song.
Okay, well you gotta take your shot. You gotta take your shot because that ain't how we work. You do. You had some drink. You had a little. Oh. So I gotta take a shot for you, is what you telling me?
Basically.
I'll do it.
I can go grab it.
You don't gotta put a gun in my head or nothing. Geez, hold on.
Right, you was gonna do it anyway. That's one of them songs where I be like, share my world. Don't you promise That's one of them for me.
Right. Okay, all right. Okay, no. Okay. I know you're gonna know this one because you got it.
We gonna see.
Oh, Zyah Belle. Hold on. Okay. Let me get into it. Hold on.
Oh, Lord.
Y'all give me 2 seconds. Okay.
Ooh. Come on. All right.
My friends like to pick my fruit. Again, he told me that when I was on there, I don't walk around trying to be what I'm not. I don't waste my time trying to get with you.
I work at pleasing me because
I can't please you. And that's why I do what I do.
Do we?
And if you don't want to be down with me, you don't want to pick from my apple tree. And if you don't want to be down with me, you don't want to pick from my apple tree.
Hey.
That's my shit.
Okay.
That's my shit.
Some badzoo. Okay.
I know a little something.
Okay. We got one more. I swear to God on my mama, you better know this song.
Oh, Lord. What if I don't?
Oh.
I've never been so nervous in my life.
I swear to God on my mama, you better know this.
She gonna fight me.
Song, y'all. Oh, if she don't know this song, get her off my life.
Come in, baby, by my nose. Hey, say my name. Say my name. If you love me, baby, let me know.
Hey.
Oh no, hey, that's what everybody mad though. She been on her shit since Puffy J Lo. She a hyphy bitch. She out there with the door open. Hey, you don't know your own shit. Oh, child. I hate that. That's how I be feeling low key sometimes. You get the jitters right before you perform, and you be like, "Do I know my lyrics?"
Girl, them little stabs on the background. Ooh, them be coming in handy, baby.
Listen.
Got a little breath of air real quick. Y'all gonna sing it for me. Say my name.
I love some good crowd interaction, honey. I love it.
Thank you so much for playing. You need
Thank
to work on your
you.
lyrics. When we do this, I want you to know the songs next time, okay?
It was just one that I said. Listen, the funny thing is I'm not alone in that. If you go to a concert, it be so many people that just be mumbling, child.
For sure. Girl, I be making up my own words. Like, don't even know the lyrics, so.
That is a fact.
Right, girl. But I really appreciate you so much for joining us tonight. I know you're a busy girl, you know.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me. It's also in the same light of you being like, oh my God, like I've seen you. It's been beautiful to see you flourish and to see you just really exercise your gifts.
Thank you.
And that's a beautiful thing. So I'm really excited to be a part of this right now. And I'm so excited to see where this goes because I know you'll be consistent with this. So I know it's only going to get bigger from here. So thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of that.
Absolutely, girl. Anytime. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your gifts with us all. Like I said, I'm rooting for you. Bitch, we are all rooting for you, okay? So just keep up the good work, you know, stand strong in it. I know, like we were talking about as artists, just period, it's just, baby, being an artist is it's a lot. Whole nother key, baby. Listen, it's a lot. It's a lot what comes with it day to day. So just stay at it. If you ever need, you know, support off of here, please know that I'm always available. You already know if you need a hot team, you know what I'm saying? If you need your girl to, you know, gas some shit real quick. Period. But yes, I wish you so much more success, and you know, invite me to the listening party, invite me to the Grammy.
Oh yes.
Invite me to all the accolades.
You're there.
I want to celebrate you, sis. So thank you so much.
Thank you. You are there. You've always been there, so you will continue to be there. Period.
For sure. I would love to. So thank you. I love you.
I love you too.
And bitch, let's link soon. The fuck?
Yes. Child, we both keep moving around. Are you in the Bay right now?
Yeah, I'm in the Bay right now. I'm gonna be
okay.
Just hit me. Yeah, I'm gonna be here.
I'll hit you. Yeah. I'll message you so we can text each other and we'll link up. We'll get it together.
Okay. For sure. Sounds good. Okay.
Thank
I love you so much. You're so welcome.
I love you too.
Okay.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
In here. See y'all next week.